in college, I had a list of what I wanted in a husband. A long list. I wanted a man who wasn't bald, who wasn't fat, who wasn't covered with too much body hair. I wanted a man with long legs and a small ass and laugh wrinkles around the eyes. Then I grew up and settled. I met Mark Feldman at a party. I recognized him the minute he walked in because once you see that beard, you never forget it. He has a black beard, but the part of it that's on the left side of his face has a little white stripe in it, where the skin underneath has no pigment. Just like a skunk is what you're thinking, and you're right, but it can look very odd. And interesting. Like myself. So Mark Feldman and I went out to dinner. And then we went to bed. We stayed there for about 3 weeks. At some point in those 2 weeks, we took a walk, and Mark held out his hands. I can't dance. I've never been able to. I believe in you, Rachel. And so we started to dance. I closed my eyes, and I relaxed. I'm dancing. I love you. And so we were in love. We were madly in love. Imagine your husband cheating on you. Okay? Now imagine your husband cheating on you while you are 7 months pregnant with his second child. Oh, if only sharp writing skills and a sense of humor could prevent infidelity. However hurt by the actions of her husband Mark, our protagonist Rachel embarks on a journey to transform her massive amount of heartache into a small amount of heartburn by Nora Ephron. I learned about the affair from really disgusting inscription to my husband in a book of children's songs she had given to him. Children's songs. Now you can sing these songs to Sam, was part of the disgusting inscription, and it really set me off the wall to think of my baby involved in some dopey way in this affair between my husband, a fairly short person, and Thelma Rice, a fairly tall person, with a neck as long as an arm and a nose as long as a thumb, and you should see her legs. Never mind her feet, which are sort of splayed. Although I could hardly believe Mark was having an affair with Thelma. I knew he was having an affair with someone. But Thelma? Talk about being a fool. I even knew Thelma was having an affair with someone. Everyone did. Do you think Thelma's having an affair with Campbell? No. Well, she's having an affair with someone. Do you think Thelma's having an affair with Toffler? Psh, no. Well, whoever she's having an affair with, she's still having it. The ladies' central is busy this week, isn't it? Forever and ever, he said. Forever and ever and ever, he said. I'll be loving you always. Not just for a day, not just for a year, but always. I believed him. I believed in Mark. Unfortunately, he learned that he could do anything. And in the end, there was a chance I'd take him back. I'd like you to come back. I shook my head no. I couldn't believe that was all I had to say. Not a word about Thelma. Not a word about how he was sorry. I love you. He said it with the animation of a tree sloth. I want you to come home. I'm not coming home if you're going to see her anymore. I'm not going to see her anymore. Rachel, I said to myself, this will not do. You cannot go anywhere, much less home, with a man whose idea of an apology doesn't even include even a hypocritical show of affection. And then Mark started to cry. Mark started to cry. I'm in a lot of pain. All right, I said. I'll come home. When you have a baby, you set off an explosion in your marriage. It was a complicated cesarean, but Mark came to the hospital every day. Every day except for Thelma's birthday. On Thelma's birthday, he called to say that he had to go to New York for an interview. 2 weeks passed. I went home. My friend Betty called. She asked if he wanted to come to dinner. By the time I got to dinner, I was tipsy. I do remember realizing that no one seemed to be noticing that I hadn't said anything the entire evening and that no one seemed to mind. I can't stand feeling sorry for myself. I can't stand feeling like a victim. I can't stand hoping against hope. I can't stand sitting here with all this rage turning to hurt and then to tears. I can't stand not talking! I looked across the table at Mark. I looked at the pie sitting right in front of me and suddenly I began to throb. If I throw this pie at him, he will never love me. And then it hit me. He doesn't love me. It hit me with shimmering clarity. That was all there was to it. If I throw this pie at him, he will never love me. But he doesn't love me anyway, so I can throw the pie if I want to. I picked up the pie and threw it. It landed mostly on the right side of Mark's face, but that was good enough. The cream of the lime filling clung to his beard and his nose and his eyelashes. I just realized I had been given the means to walk out of my marriage.